Wow. JCT popped in here at second number one. Incredible. Welcome, welcome, my friend. Welcome, welcome. All right, we are live on all platforms right now. What's up, everybody? Good to be back. You're stuck with just good old me today, which is fine. You've been getting too much special treatment from all of these special guests anyway. So, glad to be back. You got a birthday coming up. That's awesome. I hope you got somebody gifting you Shashibo. Now would be a great time to gift someone Shashibo because we are 30% off of the entire Fun in Motion Toys website right now. So if you have been looking to expand your Shashibo collection or to gift some to a loved one, now is definitely the time to get yourself some more Shashibo. 30% off the whole website. That's the steepest we've ever gone. So can't wait to see what you guys create when you start collecting and connecting some more with these great deals. Something I haven't even done on the live yet, and I can't believe that I haven't, is with this new Expanse series, these two new Shashibo designs that are perfectly compatible with the Shashibo Squared and Octa in those same designs, have this really cool ability to switch up their entire pattern on either side of that UFO. Does a great job of showing it off. And then you can see that split in the ball where we've got one side, the other, and that cool blend going down the middle. Now, if I take another one of those exact designs, I open them up to my star, I can take my ball and pass it right through the middle, making sure to get my sides correct. And now get that really cool combo flipping back and forth between those two designs. Super fun to play around with these two new ones, and they are included in that 30% off site-wide discount. So if you are looking to get yourself some new Shashibo, or you have a collector at home that needs whatever Shashibo or Fun in Motion toys come out with next, this is it. All right. What's up? Welcome to the chat, everybody. Do you ever find new Shashibo shapes? Yeah, we absolutely do, all the time. In fact, we started off with a claim of over 70 shapes with Shashibo, and now we have found over 100, including our moderator's shape called the Penguin. It's this really cool shape right here, kind of in between the chair right here and opening up the cube further, you kind of get it just hooked right around there. And that's a really satisfying shape. A super fun one to build with as well. So we are working on some new tutorials and shape guides for all of the over 100 shapes that we have found. And we can't wait to share it with you guys. Kit Sink says test, and I saw her say test. Welcome, welcome. If you are new to Shashibo, let me show you what I'm playing with here. It's a shape-shifting box that folds into over 100 different shapes. Completely exploratory, no right or wrong way to play with it. It's all about seeing if you can find all of those over 100 shapes that it makes. And it does not stop there. The more that you have, the more you can do collecting them to connect them. And we have some great discounts going on our website right now, funinmotiontoys.com. You get 30% off of however many Shashibo you are looking to add to your Christmas list or just to your own personal collection. Take advantage of those great Black Friday sales that are already kicking in. You can see the penguin shape, my friend. I was just showing it off. That's this guy right here. It is taking just one section of your Shashibo, pulling it straight back into the crown shape, and then kind of opening it up like a book on that hinge and pushing that top section forward to make the chair. And that is your landing zone. That's where we're getting to our shape from by taking that tab and just pushing it straight back and letting these sections here kind of hook around the back part of the cube. That is what we call the penguin. Super fun. Oh, so it's a pink Y. Is Kit Sync 02? Yeah? Exclamation mark? Because I was so confused. Now, some of the things that you might be looking to expand your collection with are these new geometries that we have come out with since the original Shashibo. This one right here is called Octa. This is Octa. It's our newest addition to the Shashibo Magnetic Puzzle Universe. Super fun to play around with. We've got a QR code right down here to scan if you want to check this out for yourself. Super fun to mess around with. Brand new geometry, brand new shapes, brand new possibilities, but still 100% compatible with your original Shashibo. You can find all kinds of ways to get this and the original Shashibo as well as the Shashibo Squared connected. And now that we have these new designs of the Expanse series, we can continue to explore and get a little more intentional with our color coordination, perhaps. Super fun. Super fun. Wild. All right, well, welcome, yeah. I don't know why your name's coming up wrong. Weird, weird, weird. It looks like a new design of Octa on the website. What looks like the new Dodeca? It looks like a new design of Octa on the website? Is that what you're saying? The Kelly Squad asked a great question. We have made entirely new cubes. So we have 3 additions to the Shashibo family, but we also, I don't have any nearby me. I was going to show you, but we have also Cubendi and Duomodo, which exist in their own universe. It's wild. Guys, I don't want to get the chat hype. We don't have any new Octa designs planned for like immediately. So I don't know if you're seeing new designs on the website, but I'm not seeing new designs on the website. Yeah, no new designs on the website. Sorry, guys. Hate to disappoint, but your Donna O'Keefe says that your son loves them, and that is awesome. I hope you're playing with them too. They're not just for kids. They are great for, well, quote unquote, kids of all ages, right? The more of these you have, the more you can do, and there are just infinite ways to continue to explore the Shashibo. Look at that. That's a cool connection of Dodeca and Octa, where can I actually kind of like open it up there? Oop. Oh, no. Hang on just a second. Boom. Kind of an in-between shape for both of those. I would say it holds pretty solid, though. It's geometrically and magnetically relevant. In theory, it's a shape that we haven't really identified. So, King Ravana, you're saying that there is a design of Octa on the website that you had not seen before? Is that what you're saying? All right. While I wait for solving that mystery, we're going to learn a really cool shape. The cube is one that a lot of people refer to as home, right? They think it's the solution or whatever. It's not. It's just one of the options. And opposite that option, if we open up our Shashibo as much as we can into this star shape, just like so, I like to get there just by taking one section of the cube, pulling it straight back into the crown, flipping it over, taking this section in the back and folding it straight down as well, pulling it away from that top section so that we get this lovely open star. Then I can see 3 sections on one side versus my 3 sections on the other. If I take all 3 sections from one side and pass them through the middle, one at a time is important here to make sure that we don't stress the hinges of the Shashibo. We can make this lovely open ring. And this ring is pretty close to the ball. It doesn't look like it, but it is inside out. When I put my wrist through there, you can see a completely different pattern on the outside as opposed to what would have been on the outside when we were right side out in the star. See that cube side pattern versus the inside out pattern? Now we need to get that pattern facing out the whole way around, and you can kind of piece it together from there, right? Like I'm just prioritizing getting that pattern to face out around the entire outside of my cube, but there's a few ways to get there. We can take it step by closing up our ring, taking all three of those sections and bringing them into the middle, and taking each of these points, undoing your UFO a little bit, but just enough to keep track of where it was so you can close the rest of it back up as you fold one section at a time, open, pull it back, and then bring it back again, being careful to make this nice hollow space inside. You got to protect that. And then taking that last piece and pulling it up. You can't do any of this by just pulling it in. If I just take this section right here and push it in, it's just going to collapse, okay? So what I need to do is let the whole thing open a little bit and then focus on just that section folding back into my ball. However, there are other ways of doing it. For example, I like taking two sections like this and bringing them together, allowing this section in the back not to fold into a point, but instead to flip down and under, making a little bit of a scoop that you can see through there. And it starts to shape our hollow space for the ball. I just need to take this section and let the pieces on either side fall down as I bring it up and connected to make my hollow ball. It's all a dexterity trick in keeping it nice and hollow and even inside. All right. I missed a couple of comments. Yeah, I want to see a screenshot in the Discord. Kat, if you have access to the Discord, see what King Ravana is talking about. I'm curious. We got a question from TikTok. How many do you have, and what's the biggest you've built? I've got somewhere around probably 200 Shashibo here and there. I have built all of them together. I think probably the most that I've built is like 296 or something like that, all in one giant build. I did it on a live stream, and it took up most of the table. It was outside, like I was building outside of the frame of my camera for a while. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, we didn't say, we weren't just trying to take people's money. We found new shapes. Sorry, I'll let people know what's going on. Somebody said that they thought that we were just saying 100 new shapes as a marketing ploy, but nope, we found more shapes, and so we were like, we got to bump this number up and let people know how cool this thing is. Because really, the more that you explore with Shashibo, the more you find out its infinite potential, especially when you collect multiple to start connecting them. Now, if I hold my Shashibo in this star shape right here, you can really easily see three sections on one side, and when I flip it over, three sections on the other. And I can make a new shape by manipulating one of those sections. I could open it up into a tab like that. I could even continue to fold it back and see where that takes me. Or I could take that same section and instead bring it in closed like so, or maybe pass it back through the middle to make that nice lockjawed star. Keep on pulling it through for the slack-jawed star. And here you start to see how every little twist, every turn, every hinge that moves changes the geometry of the shape at play, and sometimes the magnetism. So you can start to really just go on a journey of creative exploration with this cool toy. This is one of my favorite shapes. We call it the Pirate Goblin. And I should hold it like this. It's got a little sharp nose. It's got a patch over one eye, and it's got these two pointy ears. We called it the Pirate Goblin. And if you take a few of those, 3 to be exact, then you can make a pretty cool combination. And the way that we make that shape is by taking one section of your Shashibo, opening it up into the crown, taking these 2 sections and pulling them apart so that that back section drops down into the star. Now I'm going to take 2 sections from one side of the star and pass them through the middle. Just 2, not all 3 this time. We only want it partially inside out. Then I'm going to let these sections fold back, and I'm going to take this, the opposite of that point that we left through the middle. We're going to take this joint right here and close it up. We're just pinching that tail, and that kind of forces the rest of the shape to, well, take shape. Just like so. And with 3 of those around, you can make just a lovely, colorful design. And there is a nice way to add to that as well, of course. One of my favorites would be to take a lightning bolt. That's this shape right here. And to connect it just like so. No! Accidentally hit my build, guys. That's okay. Okay, so I'm taking my lightning bolt and I'm just attaching it like so on each side. It's a really fun 6 Shashibo shape, if you haven't seen it before. Do you think there's more shapes that you haven't found? Absolutely. I absolutely think that there are more shapes that we haven't found. I posted it in Shashibo styles. It's probably AI. Interesting. Hang on, guys. I'm going to go on a quest. I will be right back with you. I got to see what's being talked about here. Oh, wild. That is weird. Okay. Hey, thanks for sharing that. I don't know what that is. Was that on our website, you said? Thank you. Anyway, well, hey, King Ravana, DM me or something with wherever you found that. We don't need to take any more of the live time talking about it, but I appreciate you sending it my way because that's crazy. Side quest. LOL. No time. Okay. So yeah, it does look like Octo. That's wild. So we are gonna. Ooh, that's fun. I can make each of these flower petals instead of ice cream cones. Oh, I was talking about shapes a second ago, and then I got totally sidetracked. Okay, I'm going to set this build aside, but I really like it. Here, somebody screenshot that for the Discord, because I want to come back to explorations of that. That's really fun. Okay. But you were asking about Shashibo shapes. And there are a lot that we're continuing to find. The easy ones are the solid ones, right? So there are a bunch of shapes that hold themselves rigid on their own. The magnets connect and allow for that shape to stay rigid, right? And those ones are obviously easy to identify as shapes. There are some that are kind of in between where maybe they don't have any kind of rigidity, but we would still qualify them as a shape because they have relevance. They have magnetic and geometric relevance with other Shashibo at that once attained actually holds them in that shape. And so we can't continue to deny its shape ability, right? The ring is obviously a shape. It has so much relevance, so many uses. The more that you collect and connect with them, and several shapes like this, you can take multiple. And when you start to build with them, actually, this ends up being one of the sturdiest structures with 4 Shashibo because there's so many magnets holding all that together. There's like 12 magnets holding each Shashibo to each of the other Shashibo. You have until the end of this live to duplicate Save It Herbs builds. Start sweating. Guys, I wish you told me that at the beginning of the live. I need that extra 20 minutes. we gotta get I'm hoping that once we do like the I just can't wait to live stream the Shape Summit. Getting all of those builds put together. That's gonna be a blast. Okay. I'm gonna add some Octa in here. Anyway, so that's how we identify a shape, guys. If you were ever wondering. And if you ever want to figure out if what you found is a new shape, send it our way and show us your argument for its relevance. Glass Table Summit, yes. Okay, we got a question from Instagram. What is the wildest thing you've done with the split mushroom? That is a great question. That is a great question. In fact, the split mushroom is one of the pieces of one of my favorite 4 Shashibo builds. And to show it off, I'm going to show off these 4 original Shashibo designs. These are actually sold as a box set, so you can get all 4 of them at once at a slightly discounted rate. Especially now that we've got a 30% off site-wide sale, you can get 4 Shashibo for like $70. That's crazy. So take advantage of it. These 4 Shashibo are really nice designs, and when I make my split mushroom shape, which I get to personally from the wave, just by tucking one section of each behind the other, like so. Opening it up to the star, taking opposite pieces of the star. I'm only going through this quickly because I've done tutorials of it before, and they are posted on our TikTok and YouTube. So if you want to see how to make this shape, check out our pages there and give us a follow. And what we're doing is making 2 of those split mushrooms, and we're connecting them back to back. And we want to make sure that they are in the same orientation because this is a chiral shape and we don't want a mirror image. We want same to same. So we've got 2 of the same orientation of the split mushroom, just like so. And I'm going to take one, and you see this little rhombus right in the back, that guy? We're going to connect them back to back just like so. And making 4 in the same chirality will give you the ability to just stack. Oh, All right. If I hold them in the right orientation, will give you the ability to take that kind of pinwheel that happens on the bottom and just have that mesh perfectly. And it is wonky and wild, but perfectly solid, magnetically connected, and a really cool combination. One of my favorite things to do with the split mushroom or the helix. Depends on what you want to call it. I need to check out a Shashibo squared and split mushroom build that I did check it out. It was awesome in the Discord, right? That was pretty freaking awesome. Not gonna lie. Okay. So that's my favorite thing to do with some split mushrooms for sure. And if you are watching us on TikTok or Instagram and you want to support us, but you can't spend any money, hop over to YouTube, or if you want to support us at all, hop over to YouTube or Twitch, any of those platforms that just help the people that are using them a little bit more. And I will be able to see your comments a little quicker over on my screen here. Otherwise, keep on enjoying. Glad you're hanging out with us, and we're going to keep on shape shifting. He has been turning out some crazy stuff lately. And if you guys are watching the live and you're not a part of the Discord, please join us. We're about to put the link to the Discord right down below. And click on that thing, hop on over, share your shapes, share your Shashibo story. We can't wait to make the world a happier and healthier place with the help of our community. That is our true mission. That and to find awesome geometrical magnetic compatibilities between cool things. So that's a cool one. Guys, I'll be getting some more Octa soon. I can't wait. I'm going to be building so much stuff. This is such a cool combo. I want it to have more magnetic relevance. It has a lot of magnetic relevance. I shouldn't complain. But there's a few things that I thought it might do that it doesn't. But that's a really cool combo right there. We got a question from Instagram again on just how to make the split mushroom. So I'm going to do a quick one real quick just to show you, but check out our YouTube and our TikTok for tutorials. I just posted tutorials on this recently, so should be easily accessible. You're going to start by opening one section of your Shashibo cube into the crown shape, and then taking these two sections at the bottom of the crown and pulling them apart, allowing that section in the back to flex out and down, open. Now I'm going to take two sections of the crown on opposite ends of each other. So it doesn't matter really which point I select, but whichever one that I choose makes the other choice mandatory. It has to be on the opposite side. And I'm going to take both of those pieces, and you're just going to see on this side, but I'm doing the same thing on the other one. I'm opening up this hinge and making this kind of tab-like shape and letting that close. And I'm doing that on both ends to make the wave. Now I can take this section of the wave. It really doesn't matter whether it's that section or this section or that section or this section. This is yet another situation where just pick one and then take the opposite of that section. So if you pick this one, you got to flip it around and take the bottom one on that side. So I'm going to, opening up my wave a little bit, pass this one section through the middle, and I'm going to be as gentle as possible to make sure I'm not forcing it in any way, because you don't need to get to this shape. I'm going to pass it through just like so, and now I'm going to flip it just so that you can see what's happening on this side. I'm going to tuck that section I just passed through around behind the opposite section, just like so. And that's how you make the split mushroom. It's a great shape, super fun to build with. Join our Discord if you want more information like that, cool shape sharing and collaborative stuff. And check out our YouTube if you are looking for some tutorials. It's so disappointing that the magnets repel there. Come on. What's going on? There we go. But that's a really cool ball that you can make with 6 octa. It's those open rings. Helps to have a UFO to kind of stabilize the build while you're putting it together. But it holds really nice once you have it together. And if I remember correctly, there is a way to get balls connected. I knew that was going to happen too. Oh yeah, can't wait for the 0G Shape Summit, guys. It's going to be so sick. Yeah, don't look away for too long, guys, or the tower's coming down. Oh no. Oh no. I just heard that. Crazy how often Shashibo sets you up for stuff like that. Yep, timber. There it went. It was and it went. Gonna make something much sturdier this time. Stop messing around with all that hollow space. That's where I went wrong. I like this build right here. 3 octa on either side. And it just reveals this really nice 3 octa combo. This little 6-pointed star. And if I remember correctly, which sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, you can, oh yes, throw 2 UFOs on either side to make a spiky sandwich. JCT's asking about new Duomoto and Cubendi designs. You know, you never know, man. You never know. Probably someday. Ooh, that's really nice. Man, I love the compatibility of Octa with Shashibo. It's been so fun to explore. Let's add Let's add some Shashibo squared in there. Ooh, the fang. That's what we're adding. We're going to take one section of our Shashibo squared and fold it back. But before we fold it entirely back, we are going to open it up. Oh, I did that out of sight though, like so, and fold that back. You could also just take the double cube, open it up like so, and then flip that section over. That might be a little easier. And I'm just connecting that in the other half of my schooner. And boom. You get this really cool build. Oh, that's instantly very difficult to move around. Oh, it does sort of show off that you could just kind of manipulate this while it's in that shape, and kind of explore maybe a little close. Not bad. But gotta say, spiky sandwich. 2 dodeca and 3 octa put together to make this really cool combo. I like it. Can we buy it in Pengu? Dude, I don't know. I didn't even know that stuff was announced. So when you brought it up on the last live, that was crazy. But yeah, it's out there. I don't even know. I don't even know. I like that. Kind of an in-between combo. A little bit like the flower petal, you know? Those colors. Oh my word. We got goodness. Sorry guys, I just caught up on a bunch of comments. From TikTok, could you show your best shape with the other one? I don't know what the other one refers to anymore. But from Instagram, Ezra is actually at Toys Forever right now, and Kyle says hi. What's up? Hey, thanks for joining. For those of you who don't know, Toys Forever Models and Hobbies in Muncie, Indiana is where I got my start in the toy industry. So thanks for the shout out. Muncie got like way cool after I left, which is kind of insulting. They started like there's a flow community there now, and like Hugh Jackman's just hanging around. Wild stuff. Instagram asked how you make the shape behind me. This guy right here. That is the wheel. It's a really cool shape with 8 Shashibo, and I'd love to show you how to make it. I just gotta shove all of my musings aside here. And let's make it. Let's see how fast I can make one. Oh, bam! That was fast. So this guy right here is 8 Shashibo, and it is one specific shape repeated over and over again in a chain-like fashion. It's actually woven together, each of these Shashibo. There aren't any magnets actually holding each Shashibo to any of the other Shashibo. It's just the magnets that are holding this swan shape right here that then allow for the geometric weave of taking this tab and tucking it under the point of the second to last Shashibo in the chain and over the point of the last Shashibo in the chain, and then closing all of that up so that it's nice and solid. Taking both ends of that chain, end to end, and taking that same pattern of that tab, going behind the second to last point. This is the last point. We got to pull it down and tuck it behind that one, and then you have your woven wheel. Super cool shape, super fun to play with. I always have a lot of fun just exploring weaving, especially as a style. I don't know, has it been long enough? Do we want to talk about all of the different weaves that I know of? I mean, I there's so many. I talk about them enough, but couldn't hurt to do it again. It's just my favorite Shashibo technique, and I'm finding new ones all the time. I'm gonna take a drink of water because I'm about to rant for a while. About to be yapping. Okay, so these are 2 of my favorite Shashibo to show off weaves with, because we've got the solar and the polar. How much more contrasted can you get? And these two have, of course, the same compatibility as any two Shashibo, but they just show off where the mesh happens when you happen to weave a couple Shashibo together. So one that came up on the live last week was one oriented around the snake, where I kind of close up my snake a little bit, not interiorly to make the dome, although this can be a good landing zone, but instead kind of making this semicircle. Having, instead of just all of these loose sections, having them all connect together and touch in some way in that loose form. Taking each of those pieces and kind of having their bellies mesh. See how they are not only at perpendicular angles to each other, but also facing opposite, right? We get them woven like that, and now I just take each of the tails that are left over and loose and tuck them in. And so what you end up having is this shape that you can make with one Shashibo. This guy right here. Doesn't hold like that, but it certainly holds like this. Isn't that cool? One of my favorite weaves. We call it the hourglass. Super simple in practice. Now, one that you will see us show off all the time, and of course, one of the first weaves that many Shashibologists figure out is taking a cube and getting the seams of the cube lined up with the magnetic seams of the ball. So I take this section of my cube and get it aligned with just one section of the ball. See how that section right there is aligned with the section of the ball? And then from there, just holding the cube still and closing the ball around it. This allows me to get a fingernail in between both of those Shashibo at once, and now I can manipulate them both in unison. It's incredible how much you can do with just two Shashibos. The opportunities are truly infinite. Now, a couple other cool weaves involve some stuff like the stingray. This is a really cool shape right here. The stingray has quite a few opportunities to weave. Anytime that you have something that's got some hollow space and maybe like an overhang of some sort, you're likely gonna come across some kind of way to weave it. I think it'd be easier to list the shapes like that don't weave than the ones that do. We're gonna take two of those stingrays and just get those points to mesh just like so, which already looks like a weave. This is a shape called Saturn. You can close that ball up again, even tighter, and an even tighter weave, and taking each of those points on opposite end and folding them back against each other to make this, what I can't remember what we call it, like the super crystal or something like that. Super fun, really dynamic shape. Again, you can see all of the polar and solar designs crossing and intermingling. A super fun one. The stingray also has another one where it merges with a different shape that we call the scorpion. So the stingray and the scorpion merge, which I just think makes sense. They're two stinging animals, might as well. So we've got the scorpion right here and the stingray. And if I take the stingray and kind of get this section hooked over that point and let this section fall down inside the tail of the scorpion, they are now woven as such. And this is another one that once woven can continue to be manipulated. It doesn't make quite as many shapes as the cube and the ball, but still has a really dynamic movement. It does actually transition like so and have an in-between space. And there are two chiralities of that. So in reality, it makes like two shapes or something. But that also shows off a really cool opportunity for the scorpion, right? We're kind of following the same train of thought. We had 2 of the stingray tails meshed. We could also probably do something like that with 2 of the scorpion tails. So we just have to make 1 more. And take this tail and this tail and have them kind of show up at opposite ends of each other. See how the points are facing opposite directions too? And then you get this really cool weave that results in what looks like a ball and a star, but you can see clearly with the solar and polar designs that they show up differently. Thanks, yeah. We'll talk to you later. Oh, sorry, I missed your comment about going back to the ball cube weave. We'll come back to it another time. Remind me next time, and I will show it to you. But more weaves. Let's see what else is out there, folks, because there's so much. Here's a simple one. The crown. And if I take the crown and open it like a book a little bit and pass the bottom section of the crown forward, just like so, into the lockjawed star, I can do that twice. And now I'm going to line up my opposites again. I want to get this point tucked behind this jaw, and this point tucked behind, or this jaw tucked behind this point, okay? Just like so. And that is just a beautiful, beautiful weave. Great combination. Now, I know that there are definitely more weaves with just 2 Shashibo, but we've talked about a few shapes that will pop up in some weaves that are possible with more. So I'm going to make a star right here, which has these lovely points and this nice big hexagonal hole in the middle, okay? And that hexagonal hole is perfect for anything hexagonal, like that tab, okay? Even if it just means that I'm putting one section, one little piece of that tab. I'm not even putting the whole hexagon, right? Any section is going to fit. And so when you have shapes like the spaceship right here, or like the leapfrog, you can actually get that tab hooked through the middle and then get this guy to hook around the back right here, which is also a weave. It's a weave that maybe seems like it holds a little loose at first, but as you start to add a few more, which gives it a little something to push up against. Oh, first I'm going to make a cosmetic choice with my Shashibo here. I want to make sure I'm getting matching designs. Just pass this last one through the middle, and there you go. You can also do that same thing with the spaceship, and one of the things that I like about the spaceship is how easy it is to get that piece hooked in there. Oh, but hard to show what I'm doing, sorry. I'll do that in front of the camera this time. Boom. So there again, you can see where each of the designs are showing up in the weave. Beautiful stuff. I got a question from TikTok that said, hey, can you make an animal? I absolutely can. And to make an animal, I am going to use, here they are, my Wild Series Shashibo. I'm going to make a couple of different animals. I'm going to use my Safari animal Shashibo to make a dog. Each of these have really cool little dioramas and scenes on the outside of the ball shape here. Great gift for kids, especially if they have a favorite animal, or if you're an animal lover yourself, of course. So we're going to make a dog out of that guy. I'm going to use the forest cube to make a different kind of animal. You heard me talk about a couple of animals here and there. But what I'm going to do with this guy is I am going to make... hard to choose. You know what? I'm going to make the snail. There's lots of snails in the forest. And with this guy, I think the choice is obvious. We've even got the animal I'm about to make on the outside of the ball for this one. And that, of course, is the penguin. Got to make sure there are some penguins on the penguin, of course. So we've got the snail, the dog, the penguin. You're getting 4 animals for your request for 1, my friend. And for the jungle, we are going to first show off the lovely sloth, the tiger, the red panda, or the leopard, not the tiger, the red panda, the turtle, and I'm going to make the lizard, this guy right here. So there are 4 animals that you can make out of Shashibo. They're very geometric animals, of course, but you know. I also got another request from TikTok to make something big, so why don't we? That would be pretty crazy, King Ravana. I can absolutely hear what you're saying. I am not the person to make that call in any capacity, and please don't make me the person to make that call. I don't want that job. I like playing with cubes and just showing people stuff that's cool. That's for me. Okay, guys. Let us. Why don't we make something big? I like that request. It's been a little bit since we made anything very large, so let's start at the beginning. What do I want to make today? I'm curious, actually, if I could... I don't think so. I was wondering if I could build on that, but I'm not sure. Okay. What are we going to make? What are we going to make? It's always the hardest part is starting. I don't know where to start, you know? So I usually just make something, let my hands kind of shapeshift and wander until I come across something that inspires me. This one's always fun to explore with. This one definitely changes up that vibe. Let's do something a little out of the ordinary. Ooh, I know what I want to build with. The buffalo. That has been the chat, what the chat's going on about in the Discord. So this is, I suppose, half of a buffalo. It's a really cool shape. It's coming out in the new shape guide and the new designs. Since we have found more since the original over 70. And I am going to switch. I want 2 mirrored versions of that guy, and I can just connect them like that, and that's what people are calling the buffalo. Which, spot on name, by the way. We're making another animal TikTok. Thomas's boxes would be a great one to build with. We'll try and add some in a little bit. There's another one. And we can connect those like so, which is a really nice way to build. Oop, and it's probably the sturdiest way of getting them connected, even though I just accidentally took it apart. You could also connect them back to back. That would be interesting for sure. A little more limiting though. So I think I'm going to go around that axis. And those will hold once I get my third set in there. Always really nice to have multiple of the same color with Shashibo. You get some really nice color coordination going on. You can make some intentional choices with your designs and such. And yeah, I really like that aspect of collecting. And it is a great time to collect your Shashibo. So if you're looking to add to your collection, now is the time, because we have 30% off of our entire website. funandmotiontoys.com. If you're looking for a gift for a loved one, Shashibologist in your home, or you're looking to build out your own personal collection some more, now is a great time to do that. We got the gift season coming up. I know we had somebody in the chat earlier today with a birthday. If you have somebody with a birthday coming up, you've got some holidays coming up. I know a lot of people will be celebrating the holiday season at the same time as Thanksgiving with their family because they can't make 2 trips or something like that. So act fast, because we'll send it to you as quick as we can. Oops, I think I accidentally made the same instead of a mirrored polarity. Yes, here we go. There we go. That is 6 of those buffalo. Or I guess 3 buffalo, 6 half buffalo. 6 Shashibo to make up this 3 buffalo build. Ah, pesto. Here, guys. I'll show you my one of my favorite Shashibo lovers. She might not stick around for long, but Pesto loves Shashibo. Pesto, you want to say hi? Hi to the chat. You like Shashibo? No. She wants me to put her down. All right. Well, a brief visit. Let's take our 4 Shashibo woven shape from earlier and just stack that right on top. Isn't that beautiful? I see the chat and I don't understand it. I feel like I missed some context. So unless there's an immediate question for me that one of you wants to, oh, what is the username? We have 2 TikToks. Same with Instagram. We have 2 TikToks and 2 Instagrams. Official Shashibo, where we have most of our Shashibo stuff, and Fun and Motion Toys, where we have all of the Fun and Motion Toys products. And we are live on Official Shashibo. Fun and Motion is being glitchy for some reason with the lives, and I don't know why. And don't have time to figure it out right now. So that's what's going on there. Okay, let's make some Thomas's boxes. And we're gonna make Thomas's box. I find my best landing zone for Thomas's box is the UFO. And to make the UFO, you just gotta turn your cube inside out, opening it up 1 piece at a time. You can see all 3 sections on one side, nice and easy in the star shape, and just pass them through the middle, and then bring those sections in to make the UFO. Now is the tricky bit where we grab 2 sections of the UFO. You see how it's kind of split into thirds here? Grab 2 sections of the UFO and pinch those, separate them a little bit, and kind of pinch them down off to the side. Doesn't matter which side, could be either one. But we're going to pinch it down off to the side and making sure to keep this flat end right here. We're going to make 2 of the same, not of mirrored, but of the same, and have them connect to make that lovely box. Now I'm going to open up one section of my box just like so. I'm going to make a couple more boxes, just a little quicker this time. section. And, oh, guys, you know what I did? I was thinking of Shashibo squared in the connection that I wanted to do. Shashibo squared actually has the ability to make that same shape, the box, right there. And if I open up one section of my ramp and fold it back on this hinge, I can make this guy right here, which is just a really satisfying close to that build. However, in this case, it's not a close because I was asked to make a giant build, and so a giant build I'll make. We're going to keep on adding. And we're going to start by adding Octa. I am just going to open my portal like so. Essentially, I'm just trying to get a finger in the middle so that it starts to create a little bit of that hollow shape, and then I'm just pushing on that section to close it into my clam. You can also like open it up into, you can twist and open into this guy and then close that guy. If that's a little bit easier, you can then connect each of those on the end of our buffaloes, which is super cool. That is a great question, King Ravana. And in fact, Jose does not work for Fun and Motion Toys anymore. He moved on to some other stuff. So he will not be on any of the lives. Unfortunately. Would have loved to do one with him. That would have been fun. Oh, I need more Octa. All right, that's fine. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some crowns and I get those connected in there, except that I'm not because the polarity is reversed. So instead, I'm going to pivot. That's what these builds are all about, guys, is pivoting. Let's see. I think I am going to, yes. I'm going to make some of these guys. Now, this is the only thing that the knockoffs are good for. Is a spacer or something there, but I don't have any on me right now, so. If you accidentally wasted your money on any knockoffs, that's the only thing that they're good for. It's just something to take up the space. Except not even that usually, because they are sometimes a different size, or the magnets will repel, or whatever. There we go. And as per usual, guys, we're pushing this tower till it comes crashing down around us, okay? Have no doubt. Now we're going to add that section in so it isn't as much of a closer. And I am going to... Oh, that's really nice. The falcon fits right between those. Just like so. That's really cool. Come on. What the heck? There we go. That's really cool. I like that. Yeah, I'm going to make a couple more falcons. Look at that beautiful geometry. Isn't that gorgeous? That's so nice. Okay, in that case, I'm gonna maybe add some UFOs. Yes. So satisfying. So very, very satisfying. Ooh, or maybe instead of UFOs, do I want to add a lightning bolt? Yes. Yes. Chat, it's coming together. Okay, let's see. What else is going on here? I don't know if anyone else has to drum to think, but I do. Oh, no magnets there, I forgot. Okay. That, I'm not going to do specifically that, but it did inspire me. Which, as regulars in this chat know, is dangerous. And it inspired me to take 3 of those rhombic dodecahedrons, get them all connected like so, and then put that there. Putting a little too much weight on that one Shashibo, so I don't think I'm going to go with that. Not that the Shashibo can't take it, but in this shape. This shape is not really like the strongest because it really, any pressure on that or something will fold a little because it's completely hollow in the middle and there's like only 2 magnets per side or whatever keeping them together. So I don't think that I'm gonna build on top of that per se. What about that? Could work though. I think I'll need to build it separately, and I'll show you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use a couple different designs. I'm gonna use these guys right here. I'm gonna make 2 mosquitoes. Mosquitoes because they have the tab shapes, 2 of them, ready for connection so they can connect 2 different things at a different spot. And they're gonna connect like so. They're not gonna stay like that though. They're gonna have something between them, bridging the gap, and something on top of them. And so I can kind of manufacture that off of the build before adding it on, which is going to be necessary for this one. And I am going to use a UFO on bottom and top, I think. Maybe I will use a concert hall on the bottom, though, potentially. We'll see. I think I might do both on bottom and top, and what I'm going to do is have my mosquitoes grab onto the UFO like so, and then have a UFO on top of those. Now that is a unit that I should be able to attach here. Oh, I will have to do a concert hall on the bottom to prevent from running into the build that I have already. Hopefully this works. Too heavy. Too heavy. Unless we build the whole thing off of it, okay? And by the whole thing, what I would do is I would have a ring right here, and then we're going to build another one of this section here and here. And that might be enough to anchor it, but it also could tank the build. So let's see. Start putting your predictions in the chat because I want to see if you guys think it'll work. if you see my vision or if it's all going to fall apart because of the weight. We will see. So we're making a couple more concert stages and UFOs, and then some more mosquitoes. Which is this shape right here. Looks like two little buggy eyes and a pointy nose. Just bump that one. Okay. So UFOs gonna go under each of these sections. Then our mosquitoes around each side. Then our concert halls. And that makes this nice wide thing that we will see if it connects. However, I have to build it right side up so that I have any hope of lifting it onto the thing. It's pretty wide and heavy, guys. We'll see. We will see. But if you wanted to look at the whole thing before it goes on top, that is what I'm trying to put right on top of the build. Face down like so. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Think I might have been a little ambitious with that idea. The magnets are strong. That would work in zero gravity, of course. The magnets are strong. It's not really the weak magnets. It's just the few magnets that are keeping it all together. So maybe I can kind of balance it here and build it on my tower. Oh, but I want to do that on camera. Even if that makes me make it all collapse, I'm going to do it on camera. So we are putting our UFOs on each side. I am going to have my mosquito connect there. Yeah, I was too ambitious. That's okay. That's okay. Oh, well, and it starts to fall apart a little more. A fun build. A fun build while it lasted. How about I flip it over and build on this side now? That's kind of cool. Somebody said it's done. That's so funny. You were right. It was cooked. It was cooked. It was worth a shot, though. Come on. Can't fault me for trying. All right. So, I just keep on running into that part because I forget there's something hanging off of there. I can make this kind of little, looks like a little baby turtle to me, you know, with the little head and the little flippers kind of looking. Anyway, if you tilt the head to one side and connect it like so, Let's keep chasing that. Besides, that'll give me good practice in remembering how to get to that shape. Okay, let me just have a small stroke for a little bit. There it is. Okay, just so you guys don't have to fumble around as much as me. I knew where this was. We're taking it from this nice kind of long ribbon piece here, folding it back on that hinge, just like so. And then I am gonna fold this, one of these sections, doesn't matter which one, fold it back, essentially. There we go. Then you tilt the head off to one side or the other. And then it'll make kind of a little pinwheel looking thing around the outside, unless I balance it out. So I'm going to make one where the head's going the other way. There we go. Look at that. I like that combo. I'm gonna add a few more of those on. I just need to lay eyes on my other octa. Are they in there already? No. Yeah, what? Oh, here we go. Oof. One more. Oof. Sorry. One more. And there we go. That's a really nice connection. I like it. Nice and fun and spiky. Beautiful. I couldn't get it back on in time. Oof. Well, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I'm going to have to call it a little early on the live, unexpectedly. Sorry about that, but thanks for hanging out and playing with Shashibo. Hop onto the Discord if you aren't there already. We would love your guys' input. We love all the energy that's going on over there. And get some Shashibo. Like I said, we've got some 30% off discounts going on our funandmotiontoys.com website. So go there for some pretty awesome deals for the holiday on Shashibo. And we will see you on the next one. Have a good night, guys.